Friday, June 18th. So we are going to wake up with the moon in Libra. It would have gone void, of course, of Thursday evening, like late, like midnight-ish, and we'll be locking into Libran energy around 6 a.m., again, Atlantic Standard Time. So we have a lot of moon energy here today. The only other thing taking place outside of the moon's energy is the sun making an aspect with Saturn, which likely will not feel so good, but that's later on in the day, so we don't have to worry about that just yet. So coming out of the moon in Virgo energy and shifting into Libran energy, it definitely is a lighter feeling. We go from that heavy, low and slow, earthly focus, earthly realm, a lot of pressure to reorganize and restructure things. And then we jump into the airy energy of Libra. And this is a mental game because air energy rules over the mental plane. But the Libran energy is about fairness. It's about balance. It's about peace. It's about harmony. So the kerfuffle that we have found ourselves in up into this point, especially when we reached that first quarter moon in Virgo the day before, that felt like a lot of pressure. It felt very overwhelming. And now we're going to do everything that we possibly can to not only make sense of it, but to balance the scales again, to kind of lighten the mood. So the moon goes ahead while still void. And this means still very much in Virgo energy, but not, so firm in Virgo energy that it is as particular as it was in the previous days. So before we even get into Libran energy, the moon in Virgo has a conversation with Saturn, Uranus, and Venus. And basically it would go something like this. Listen, I've made the decision that I'm ready to move forward. I've made the decision that I've learned very, very well from past situations and past life lessons. I'm now willing to walk the walk and talk the talk. I am moving forward. I have restructured and reorganized my inner workings to provide a clean slate for me to build upon, and I am about to leave the past behind. That Uranian energy kicks in, it's like, bam, we are seeing a brand new, different perspective to take place. And then that Venus energy kicks in, and she is now opening up to the fact that, yes, okay, I understand that I was keeping myself in a state of pain and suffering. I was keeping myself in a state of paralysis. I'm ready to at least open up my mind and my heart to the kind of changes that I know that we need to make. When the moon shifts into Libra, the very first thing that the moon in Libra does is have a conversation with Jupiter. And Jupiter, of course, being about growth and expansion in Pisces, days away from going retrograde, just wants you to listen to your intuition, just wants you to listen to your heart space, just wants you to understand where karma is at play here. And the moon in Libra, of course, wants us to think logically and practically and sort our emotions out based off of mentally being able to process that. But the moon in Libra right now is just like, oh, okay, so now I see the ending point. Because of course, Jupiter shows us the bigger, broader picture, the great horizon that awaits us, the possibilities that await us. And the moon in Libra is very much like, oh, okay, well, thank you very much for painting this beautiful picture of where it is that I'm supposed to go and grow and aim and just, align with. Now I can figure out how it is that I'm going to make those changes in my day-to-day life, in the way that I'm feeling, in the way that I'm thinking. So the moon goes ahead and has a conversation with Mars in Leo that just fires us up again. This is a sextile. So this is a blending of energies. This bodes very, very well for us. This is taking place around lunchtime, again, Atlantic Standard Time. So the moon in Libra sextiles Mars in Leo. This is like just bliss. Fires us up, makes us feisty, makes us passionate. We want peace. We want harmony. We want to go after that big picture that Jupiter just painted for us. And we're going to start making those moves. We're going to start seeing the physical reality actually shift in our favor to allow us to start making physical moves to align with the path, with the new passion, with the new desire. We are happy to do so. And the moon goes ahead and aspects Uranus and Jupiter. This is like a blast of energy shifting us out of what has been low and slow, what has been questionable, what has been a blockage in the mental plane. This is going to shift our heart space now back in alignment with the dreams, with the passions, with the desires that we had at the beginning of the week that we lost halfway through. Then the sun makes an aspect with Saturn. And the sun, of course, wrapping up his time in Gemini, wants to illuminate and put a bright light on where we can reflect back in order to gain perspective moving forward. So this is very much, once we get our heart space back into that vibe, attaching to our vision, seeing that big picture being painted for us by Jupiter, then we're like, okay, so now we have to take a look back at everything that we just got in a funk about over these past couple of days. We have to look back at past life lessons, past experience, past soul contracts that we just cut off. And we have to recognize that, you know what, our insecurities and our doubts tried to get the best of us there midweek, but we're not going to let it happen because our dreams are too passionate. They're too on fire. They are too excitable for us to stay in the same spot, and we sure as hell are not turning around to go backwards. And the moon in that moment trines the true node and aligns our heart space and aligns our soul's purpose and aligns our mental plane, our focus onto the future path in which we are about to walk.